Nimrod is known for his hands-on, innovative approach, together with deep ecological know-how and clear view as to the need of zero pesticide spraying.
Thank you. Okay, it works. This is a day I've been waiting for many years. 30 years ago, I started working as a manager of pest control in the orchards of my kibbutz, which is a community in Israel. And with the best governmental experts in many sprays, fruit fly infestation was very high. Different fruits, but it looks the same. Soon I found out that I'm not the only one who suffers from fruit flies and from pests and many sprays. Millions of farmers do. And as a matter of fact, the most problematic fruit fly in the world, Bacterocerra dorsalis, still don't have a solution, with about 50% damage. And most of and Bacterocerra dorsalis is not unique, and actually most of the fruit flies in the world doesn't have a solution. And here we see just a fraction of them, 100 species, over 100 species of fruit flies that are considered to be economically important. And only a few has a good solution, and that includes the one in Europe, like Mediterranean fruit flies, Ceratitis capitata, the olive fly. As you know, the solutions are far from being good. So we took a step, and based on technology that is releasing smells, we decided to aim perfect control, zero spraying. And we decided to start with the most problematic group of fruit pests, which is fruit flies, and to make a real revolution, green revolution, to bring it to mankind. And once in a while, there is a breakthrough technology that appears and changes everything as we know it. Today, I present 3 products that are going to change the pest control industry as we know it. But before I get to this, let me talk about innovation. Innovation can take place where there is freedom, where there is a way of selling your product at the end, of reaching the market. Well, that becomes very, very difficult in Europe. It's top limitation. If we want to go faster into the future and still lead the world, regulation has to adapt itself to the changing world. Otherwise, it will not happen. This is about regulation. And as to my fellow friends from the industry of pest control, you will see the presentation, and I invite you after that to contact me and to cooperate. And now let's move on to the 3 solutions. Well, first I will show you. That's how it looks. But let's move on. So the 3 solutions are the ones that are going to help farmers get more produce and higher quality, help better food security, help the general public get safer food in a safer environment. So the first one is a novel fragrance delivery platform. The second is a revolutionary slow-release formula. And the third is a breakthrough development algorithm. Platform, formula, algorithm? Well, with the clue I gave you, you know that actually we're talking about one solution, not three. And we call it freedom. And this is the freedom. It's very small, very beautiful, very safe. So before we go on with this, let's talk about what we have today. Okay. So this is a simple graph one-on-one. Effectiveness versus easy to use. And what we see is the main thing that we have today, spray, all kinds of sprays. Well, very hard to use and effective in some cases. Well, even less effective, but easier to use, is different traps that we have. And then we have the SIT, the sterile insect technique, that is used, and it is the least effective and the most hard to use. And if you have more than one species of fruit fly in the field, you have no choice. I mean, it doesn't work. And even on a small island, such as Madeira, doesn't work after 25 years. What we wanted is something way better, and this is freedom. Very effective, very easy to use. So, a platform, a formula, and a delivery system. What makes it work together is a revolutionary user interface. This is what we have. And we worked on it for many years, as you will see. And why is it so important? Because to make everything works together, you need to connect it. You need to connect the farmer, the user, the formula, the plant, the insect, the environment, and everything is connected through the user interface. Now let's look on current user interface. Well, we have the usual ones, the tractors and the sprayer. If you look carefully inside the tractor, you will see me. I did it for quite a few years. Very complicated results. And then you have the manual spray. Basically, it's the same and requires repeated spraying. And dangerous, poisonous, damage the environment. And then we have all kinds of traps. Some of them dry, some of them wet, some of them sticky. You need to open, you need to maintain, get it empty. They smell bad. But maybe this is not the worst thing is that the insect doesn't like to get in, doesn't work that good. And how do we know? We go to the field. This is what we see just a couple of months ago in India. With all the sprays, with all the traps. On the side of the road, you see tons of mango, infested, dropped. That's the result, with everything, with all the best that we have. And actually, it's not only India. It's wherever this fruit fly and many others exist. Much of it is infested, and for that reason, we don't see so much export, if any, from that part of the world. And that part contains more than 4 billion people, 75% of the world population. So only India, only mango, uses about 9 million tons of mango a year. That's worth about $4.5 billion. Only India, only mango. So, for the farmer, he loses a lot of fruit. Some of it is in the field, pre-harvest. Some of it is post-harvest, on the way to the market, only because of fruit flies. Doesn't matter if the infestation is 60% or 90% or 30% or 10%. It's too high, and he cannot reach good markets. He has to pick the fruit mostly when it's unripened. when the quality is not good, when the size is not good. You cannot pick the time that is good for him from a marketing point of view. What BioFit does is we help him go through that wall into a much better future. So that one I like. DDT is good for me. And there was time that we thought so. And I believe that if the public doesn't like the pest control industry, is because it doesn't trust the pest control industry with such words. So we know today DDT is not good for me. The green revolution should make that change, and this is what we bring. How it works. So, just like in nature, with the pest release a pheromone, and then it evaporates. What we do, we take this, and we turn it upside down, puncture a small hole here, and then we take this beautiful panel, we enter it inside, and that's it. The formula is coming out to the pocket and from the pocket outside. It attracts the pest, we stand on it, lick it and fly away. And soon after, it will die, and that's it. The entire environment remains safe and clean. And those drops are coming very slowly. So this amount may be good not for a week or two, not for a month or two, or 3 or 4 or 5 months. This little is good for as much as 10 months, 1 year. This is what we practically do. So very nice, very clean. There is nothing to be afraid, very safe. And even if you eat it, by the way, the active ingredient inside is spinosad, 0.05%. That's it. So, design. Okay? So just look at this. Okay, how thin it is, how small it is. This is good for many years. The dispenser we replace every season. Depends on how long it is, but every season we replace it. And this is in the field, the way it looks. Again, doesn't touch the environment, completely safe. Everything is food ingredient except for the 0.05% spinosad. Now let's look at the market today. Today, to make a new product, what it takes, many years of work and a lot of money. Well, if you work that slow, it will take you thousands of years until we have what we need today, as we could see with the fruit flies. Well, we don't have thousands of years. We're not going to be around, either our kids. So we need something much faster and something much better than poisonous sprays. And this is what BioFit is doing. The GCFR is a gravity-controlled fluid release. This is our technology. And with this, we are able to develop products much faster than ever. This is an example of the development that we did. It was done in Israel with local farmers. What we can see is in the green. We started with just a few days of work. That was the beginning. And look where we are today with the GCFR. The technology has improved all the time. Every step, we had a jump. But we didn't compromise on one thing. That is the effectiveness, the red line. You can see the effectiveness is extremely low or extremely high. Infestation is extremely low. And that is something that we keep all the time. Now today, if you have spray, if you have a SIT, the sterile insect technique, once a week you need to keep it, to apply it again and again. If you have traps, maybe it's a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months. Not that it works, but okay. With freedom, hundreds of days. And we can adjust it. So this is a study done in Israel. It's not an experiment. It's actually a survey collecting from tens of farmers during 7 years. Since we can see here that the effectiveness is very high, then I'm going to show you what happens when farmers don't spray for fruit flies. How much it's changed things and how much it's possible. So this is the survey. 98% of the farmers, or 98% of sprays were reduced for fruit flies. That's practically going down to zero. Infestation, instead of going up, went down. 93% less infestation. And the bonus is that other pests, farmers did spray much less for other pests. Why? Because biological control was simply better. And then we felt good, including the algorithm of developing new products. And we went to a competition called Grand Challenges Israel. And we chose the biggest challenge we could think of. And that is the greatest pest in one of the biggest countries in the world, India. Bactocera dorsalis in India, in the biggest crop in India, which is mango. And we set a target. The infestation is about 50%, to decrease it by 50%. We had a very short time, very limited budget. Here we can see how it really looks like last year, the first pictures, and you can see the flies that are attracted to it. What is unique is that there are many, many female flies over there. Until today, it is only the males that were attracted. They lick it. This is during the rainy season, June, last year, in Karnataka. And they fly away. Again, you can see the environment is completely free, completely safe. Nothing applied in addition. And you can see many females in the public, in the crowd over there. And this is the results. So we were quite more fortunate than 50%. Actually, with no treatment, 7% of the fruits were good for marketing. 93% was to the garbage, infested. But with control, with the commercial, 12% is good. 88% going to the garbage. And with freedom, it is 95% good, 5% infested. That is a game changer. Think what it means for the farmers, for the traders, for the marketing chain. And soon after, that was July last year, I was invited by Prime Minister of India, Modi, in his first trip to Israel, to meet him together with Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, where I explained what we did and how it works. And one more little thing that I think you would like. Now we have, again, the same graph, the same effectiveness level, but look on the left. This is the number of units that we started, hundreds of units per hectare. And look where we are today, 10 units, up to 30 units. This is what we use today. This is the lowest number of units that exist. Effective, of course. Not effective you can find anywhere. And at the same time, traps 50 to 100 the common ones. If you look at mating disruption, it is 500 to 1,000. So 10 to 30 units. That's a great help for the farmers. Africa. Africa we started this year. And we started at West Africa, East Africa. They have double problem. Bacteroceras dorsalis is one, but also Ceratitis cossiera is the other one. And with the current spraying and traps that they use, infestation is, as you know, 50%. What we did is we used it, the freedom, and we managed to decrease infestation by 90%. And that is true for farmers who work for the local market, and they had very high infestation starting from 80-90% infestation, and ones that started from very low infestation and struggled to export to Europe. And this year already, we have 1,000 tons of mango exported from Africa to Europe with no spraying for fruit flies. Nothing, zero. And the farmer was able to extend the season of picking, which is remarkable. So these are the products that we have just the last few years, and we can see that after a long period of development, we started with Ceratitis capitata, the first one, that became very powerful, followed by Bacterocera olea. Both of them we have in Israel, both of them you have in Europe, and many other places. Then came Bacterocera zonata. And you can see in small Dacus ciliatus that we started, and we are almost out there, but we stop it because we don't have time now to complete. And then the most important one in the world today is Bacterocera dorsalis, and the one that we are most proud of. And Ceratitis cossiera, which is in Africa. So look at the time frame. And now what we have is we have what we had before, Ceratitis capitata and Bacterocera olea. But we also have a nice series of fruit flies that we didn't have last year. And now we do. It's smiling, yeah, deserve one. So fruit flies are all over the world. There are 4,500 species of fruit flies. From them, over 100 economically important. They're moving, they're coming, including to Europe. And if we don't do something, it will get worse and worse. And Biofeed is there exactly to change this, to prevent, to help, to stop, and to take the wheel back when it comes to infestation. And let's remember one more thing. The typical thing is that we don't have a single fruit fly. In Europe, it's still in most places. Now you have another one, for example, the Drosophila suzuki. So mostly you have more than one. So we have to treat them both. Today, like in Lepidoptera, you need 2 sprays or 2 something, mating disruption. Well, that is too much for us. That is too much for our clients. So what we did, we merged the formulas. And that is a complete development. And this is what we actually have today. For India, for Bacterocera dorsalis and Bacterocera zonata. For Africa, Bacterocera dorsalis and Ceratitis cossiera. And for Israel, Ceratitis capitata and Bacterocera zonata. So freedom is effective, it is safe to use, it's easy to use. It works for a very long time, very few units. Pest specific meaning it doesn't hurt anything else. We could see the flies are out there, only flies, nothing else. It works under varied weather condition, short development, which is crucial, and able to do export quality fruit if we want. Supports food security, 0 residues, And it works for small farmers as well as big farmers, as well as area-wide management. So this is great. But, there comes the but. To get it to the market, you need regulation. And when we step into Europe, the regulation is, this is what we see. Do not enter sign. And we don't understand it. Maybe someone can help me. Look, this is the freedom. This is how small it is. Behind me is a huge tank of fertilizers. Look at the numbers, 2,000 kilograms compared to 0.00002 of active ingredient. If you eat it, hundreds of them, thousands, you will not die. Not because of this. Still, if you drink 1 liter of fertilizer, you may die. So it doesn't make sense, and you can use it freely. This is when I step out of my office once a week. This is what I see. This airplane that is spraying spinosad over the citrus orchard every week, over the people, over the cars over there. So that is okay. But if you have it in a small container like this, that's not good. So I don't get it. So what it requires is actually a change, not only for us, innovation here, technological innovation. Also the guys in regulation has to change, has to adapt themselves to the new vision that they see. If they want something greener, something better, they should change. They should create a green fast track, and they should remove the need for consent from manufacturer. You don't see it anywhere. We bought the spinosad. Why should we get a consent? When you buy something that has a patent, you pay for the patent. This is why it has a patent. When you buy chocolate and you want to make chocolate cake, you can do it. You want to eat it as it is, you can do it. Whatever you want, because you paid for it. So why should we ask for permission? Doesn't make sense. So, Albisach, who was a former judge at the Constitutional Court of South Africa, knows a thing or two about revolutions. And he said, all revolutions are impossible until they happen. Then they become inevitable. So, the green revolution is inevitable. It's here and it's here to stay. Let me finish with a short, very short video of one farmer that I really like in Africa and represent millions of farmers like him. 3 months ago, I've met here Yakubu, who is standing next to me. And I heard this story that for 3 years he's not selling the mango, although he has a big mango orchard and with many trees, and actually started killing the trees. He already killed a few, and he said he gave up. He doesn't believe that he will make money out of it. And I asked him to wait with killing the rest of the trees, and we will try. And hopefully we will manage to reduce the infestation of fruit flies by 50%.
By this time, over 50% of fruits are on the floor. Last year, as I said, so I didn't sell. Because
so zero.
Yes. We
Roughly.
It can estimate around 80%.
80%?
Yes. When we calculate, it is 3%. 3%.
3%?
Yes, 3%. Yes. But this time, on Wednesday, I start making money from my mango trees. And I thank you for that. But what I have to add, coming from zero to something, it is very zero and moving is what I say that I'm very happy. But I sure can around 100,000.
So, and usually in a usual year, how much?
Last year I didn't sell, but the year before last year I say 15,000.
15,000.
All this Ocha.
15,000 to 100,000. Coming from zero to
and
something.
Something.
That's it.
Then I thank you for all that you have done for my Ocha. Okay, and then my income, I rely on you.
Thank you very much.